Hey Evergreen, how we doing? Dr. T here. Wanted to talk to you about something that's very important. Today, is National Children's Grief Awareness Day. And what is that? Grief is that feeling you have inside that sometimes it makes you feel down, makes you feel sad, sometimes make you feel angry. You might want to cry, you might not want to talk to people, you might just want to be left alone, you might just want to take a nap. These are all very natural, normal feelings to dealing with grief. The thing about grief is you want to make sure you are communicating and talking to your family, your parents, your loved ones to let them know how you're feeling in case the grief is becoming too much. I lost my grandma. My grandma passed away. It has been 23 years ago since my grandma passed away. I still miss her. I still get sad that she's gone. I was really close to my grandma when I was growing up, and when I became a teenager, we were like really close. So losing her was a definite hard adjustment for me. Even though I was an adult at the time, a younger adult, it was a really difficult time for me in losing her because this was someone I loved dearly, and I just wasn't sure how to deal with that sadness. Fortunately, I've been able over the years through talking to people and through time to do a little better with it. I definitely get sad around her birthday. I definitely get sad around Thanksgiving. As a child, everyone went to grandma's house. So this can be a little bit of a sad time for me when I think about what Thanksgiving used to look like versus what it looks like now. But I want you guys to all know grief is normal. There is no right and wrong way. How you feel is how you feel. But what is important is how you deal with those feelings. So I want to read a story with everyone today. And the story is called Cape. The cape will play a very important part in this story. Now, a child dons a cape like a superhero on one of the hardest days of his life. It's the day of the funeral of someone he loves, someone he can't think about without hurting. So he uses his cape to block out the pictures and stories people share, turning away the memories that keep bubbling up. He won't think about them. He doesn't want to. So the cape will represent almost like a blocker for him. And I just really love the story, so I'm going to share it with you. For Dad, this is who the book was written to from the author. Here's something for the kids, for my dad, Desmond Thomas, my best friend, my hero. And it was illustrated by Kit Thomas. So here we go. Got a new haircut and suit for today. So he's in his room. There's the new suit. But does he look happy? Looks pretty sad to me. Got his cape on. So remember, he uses his cape to protect his feelings, to perfect how he's feeling, to stay strong, to not let things hurt him. In case I remember. So he's headed out into the world with his new suit on to go to something that might make him a little sad. Auntie fixes his tie, finger paints my heart, and hugs the shadows away. Now he's hurting on the inside, but Auntie's trying to tell him to be strong because he is loved and he has his protective cape on. We ride in a slow parade of cars and place you by the stones. Have you guys ever participated, or your family participated in having to go to a funeral? To this day, and I'm a little older than all of you, it makes me extremely sad to have to visit a funeral, especially when It was an immediate family member that I knew very well. There's no rain, but my cape gets wet. There's no rain, but my cape gets wet. The reason it's getting wet is the tears he is dropping from being sad. And remember, it's totally normal to be sad, maybe even angry. We crowd inside the family house to a party where no one smiles. Grown-ups clump together like inky trees. A lot of times after a funeral, family and friends will get together to talk about the person they miss, to talk about some of the great times they had, to share their memories, to cry together. It is very normal in that spirit, in that time, to mourn together. That means we all are a little sad together, thinking about the person that we lost. They'll show stories, they'll tell pictures. That's them telling the stories and telling the pictures. But notice, he's sad. He's not with everyone. He is really, really sad. And you know what? That's okay. We all deal with our grief and our sadness differently, and sometimes might not be the time that you are ready to move forward and move on in life. Sometimes you just want to sit and be sad and think about the person that you miss. And it may sound something like this: I don't want to. He's having a really hard time with the loss of a loved one. He's extremely sad. He doesn't want to sit around and talk with people. Totally normal. Memories make my swallow hurt. I block them with my cape. So the memories are making him feel a little sad. So he's using his protective cape to try to block those feelings. I fly them to outer space. Great idea. Don't know if it'll work. Let's see. I hide them in a sunken ship on the ocean floor. Now he's trying to take his feelings to the ocean floor. He just tried to fly his feelings to outer space. Now he just tried to bury his feelings in the sunken ocean floor. But the memories of your loved one keep bubbling back up. And here's the thing about memories of a loved one. You'll always remember them. The memories will always come up of the good times. Yes, you will miss them. You will miss them. You will absolutely miss them. But you'll be able to close your eyes and think back to all the good memories that you shared together. The time you laughed together. The time you loved together. The time you had fun together. The way that person smiled. All these many different ways of memories, of remembering good times with the person you have lost. That's what's important when you're trying to deal with grief. It is easy to think about that person is gone. What you have to try to do is remember your great memories with that person also. I run to tell Auntie, but she's fast asleep. He wanted to talk about his feelings, but Auntie was asleep. Let's see what happens. I cover her with my cape. I remember the moment you gave it to me. Now, what he found, the cape actually helped him deal with his feelings. And he saw Auntie was sad, so he wanted to take his cape and put it on Auntie to protect her. And this was a way he was able to remember a good time, because he was always taught the cape will protect you. So now he was protecting his aunt. I promise I'll never forget you. And that is the thing about grief. There will be days when you feel sad. There will be days when you wake up and you're mad. You will see certain things. You'll look at certain people. You'll hear certain words. You'll smell certain foods. You'll go certain places. And it will make you remember and think about the person that you love and miss. And that might cause a lot of feelings inside. All of those feelings are okay. You want to remember to try to practice remembering the good times in those moments, but it is absolutely normal to feel sad about missing a loved one. I am 52 years old. My grandma passed away when I was 28, I believe. I still miss my grandma. Sometimes I drive past her old house just to look at it. That's how much I miss my grandma. And it's been over 23 years. So you just have to find ways to overcome being sadness. So I just wanted to take this time, Evergreen, to talk about grief and to recognize we all have had some loved ones, some of your teachers, your principal, the secretaries, custodians, myself. And some days are harder than others, but you want to try to remember the good days also. Stay well, Evergreen. Stay encouraged. If you ever feel like you're really feeling down because you have lost a loved one, you can talk to any of the adults here and we will make sure to get you in the appropriate hands of care. This includes parents also. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling extremely stressed by grief, make sure you talk to someone. You don't have to squash it all down and handle it yourself. Stay well. Today we recognize National Children's Grief Awareness Day.